Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pop-up card. This is using the Scalloped Box pop-up die from Fawn, as well as the Fab Flowers stamps and dies and the Happy 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 stamps. So if you'd like to see how I make this, keep watching. So I started out by picking out the inks I was going to use on the flowers. I have swatch rings for each of the brands of inks that I use. And so I use this to decide which colors I'm going to use. So you can see there, those are the two pool colored inks that I'm going to use for the flowers. And here in a second I'll pick out the two pink colors, show you the two pink colors. This stamp and die set, it's kind of stamp layering, not in the same sense of like Altenew stamps where they're very detailed. These flowers almost look more cartoonish in nature than realistic. So there's only two layers, but here are all the colors I use, including the greens for the leaves. And here is the stamp set. This is a very well loved stamp and die set for me. I really enjoy using it. And you can see in the back there I've kept flowers that I've made previously and did not use on the last project. So I'm just pointing out the different stamp elements, and those are the stems. So there's a few different kinds of flowers, I think a couple different kinds of leaves and the stems. I am using my mini Misty for this because I'm creating so many flowers for this project. I just wanted to create them all at once and make it easy on myself, and the Misty really allows you to do that. So I'm picking up the stamps and going to use my lighter shade of ink for this. Stamp that down and I am good to go. So all I'm going to do for these, I'm going to wipe off the stamps with my stamp chamois, and then just flip it so I'll be able to get two sets of flowers on each cardstock panel, and then on the in-between there'll be quite a bit of space. Later I'll go in and stamp leaves. So just wiping those off again. For the sake of time, I won't show you every bit of stamping that I do because it's pretty repetitive, and also the file was a little bit corrupted. So the last bit of footage on this did not come out. So this is the last set of flowers I'm doing. The panel I didn't show you was the teal and yellow flowers. So here are the like the layering bits for these stamp sets. So stamping those down, wiping them off, and then I'll go through off camera and stamp the rest of them and the leaves. I also did all of my die cutting today off camera. So that's the Happy 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 stamps, and these are all of the little cutouts of all of the flowers and leaves and stems that I have run through my machine. Obviously that's quite a bit of die cutting, so it took me a while, so I didn't feel the need to show it on camera. I've got some grass for the inserts for the pop-up. Those are with a plaid paper set from Fawn that was released in spring of 17. And then these are the inserts for the pop-up card that make so you can put your flowers on them. And then I have sped this up. So on the very back, I'm stamping my little Handmade by Elise stamp. I get those at Bossy Jossie. She does a really good job in her customer service. It's fantastic. She always sends you a proof before she makes it and ships them out to you very, very quickly. So put that on the back. For the Misty, I use the mouse pad inserts. I really like them. I prefer it over the paper pads. So just taking out the happy and the birthday, got those lined up, and I'm going to stamp them with Wild Wisteria, which is the darkest shade that I used for the purple flowers. And it is also the same color as the cardstock for the pop-up. That's something that's really nice about Gina K, is that the inks all have matching cardstock that match perfectly. Those were also stamped on some purple paper from the Watercolor Wishes paper pad that also came out in spring of 17. So now we are making the pop-up die, making the card out of the dies, I should say. Just using my bone folder to really score those folds. And then I am using score tape. This is the 1/8 of an inch version. And here's where using a grid mat really comes in handy, because I am able to line up the bottom of these, the box dies perfectly, so that I know that my box is done perfect. So just putting some score tape on all of those little tabs that create some place for you to add your die cuts and details that really make this pop-up card come to life. So I'm going to remove one piece of score tape and, like I said, line it up on the bottom of that grid. And then line up this panel on the same line, and now I know that it's perfectly straight. So there are really two ways you can put in these little, they're not really panels, the little die cuts here. You can either put them in once the box is completely made, or you can put them in at this step, kind of in the in-between. And as you can see, they all fold over. And so I do it like this, where I put them in, fold them over, hold them shut, and then close the box in on top of them. This is the only way I can find that I actually get them lined up perfectly straight. I can't get them lined up perfectly straight when I put them into the box when the box is already made. It's really, really difficult, because of course the tape wants to stick and it's just kind of a mess. So here I am decorating the box. So this die set for the pop-up box comes with all of these dies for the panels. And just to be able to decorate it, I think it's really, it looks more finished and complete when it is all decorated. So just scoring down those, like pressing down those fold lines. And then here I am adding more of those panels and that front happy birthday panel. This is a birthday card that I made for a coworker over this past weekend. I actually ended up having to make 3 birthday cards. I really should have more on stock. So here are those grass cutouts. That's using a lawn fawn grass border die and that plaid paper. And I'm just sticking those in on top of those tabs, just kind of giving them a little bit more color, and to kind of complete this garden scene, I thought it would be nice. So here are all of my little die cuts. So I'm just sorting them into piles: flowers, leaves, by kind, and then I am taking the leaves, taping them onto the flowers, kind of random. I don't use the same leaf for the same kind of flower. I'm just kind of going through and picking out and seeing what I think looks good together. This is kind of where you can be a little bit creative, and decide which leaf you like with which flower. And then I will go ahead and add all of the stems onto these flowers. So just putting all of these together, seeing what I like. and making them look a little bit different from each other. Now, I don't think I actually used all of these flowers because I think I actually had 20 flowers. But I used some of them differently than you might think because I didn't put all of them on the grassy scene. Some of them went on the flaps. So here is the end of me putting these on. And yes, I did not use all of them because there's two big ones I see there that I know I did not use. So now here is the fun part. We are arranging the way this scene looks. I really want it to be very full, so that way when you pull the card out of the envelope and the card pops open, it looks like a bouquet is bursting out. That's kind of the way that I envision this. So I'm going to fill it really, really full with flowers. And I'm trying to alternate, make sure that there aren't two of the same flower types next to each other or two of the same colors. But again, that's really difficult at times. So it's not 100% perfect, but I think overall when you look at it, you really see the dimension and things like that. You see that it's pretty varied in the, because even though there's only 4 kinds of flowers, it's 5 different colors. So I think that makes a big difference in the way that this card looks with the variety, because I knew that that was really important to me, that they wouldn't all look exactly the same. You wouldn't have to make all of the flowers, all the kinds, or even use as many kinds of different colors if you didn't care so much about it. So here in the end, I'll realize I really only use the 3 largest flowers in the box. So there is another flower that is very small. It's probably, it's less than an inch wide. It's probably somewhere around the 3/4 of an inch mark. And so I actually use those to decorate the sides, the panels on the side. Again, sorry if my head pops in and out. Just trying to make sure everything is lined up and straight. So this is when I pull over those little flowers and use them, like I said, to decorate the side panel and give it a little bit more interest. These little flowers actually really might be my favorite. I think they're really, really adorable. Probably because they're so cute and tiny. So just laying those out. And that is the finished card for today. Here's a better shot. You can really see all those flowers bursting out, and I think it looks really, really beautiful. Thank you for joining me today for this video. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Sound off in the comments below if you have used this pop-up die before. I think it makes the most fun and unique cards. Thank you so much.